And we'll move on to business from the City Council. This is number 18. City Council reports. Council Member Preet Didball.
Always do that. The Regional Housing Authority meeting. It was actually a very short meeting, mainly a closed session for the most part. So not much discussion otherwise. We also had the Yuba City Unified School District meeting, which, as we gave the city update, one of the questions that Steve went ahead and clarified were how many of our parks are converted from city surface water to on-site well water. And so the response back for that one was Gap, Northgate, Happy, Hillcrest, Regency, Blackburn, Tally, and Sam Brennan. The smaller parks were not converted due to the cost efficiency, just to keep the maintenance, the sediment that settles in. And the reason that question came up was with the concerns with the school, and if they are interested in irrigating, if the schools are irrigated through surface water, and if they have any interest to change that over to on-site well water, city staff would be available for consultation. Other than that, I didn't have any other meetings. We did have the anti-bullying forum that was held on February 3rd. That was a great event that got pulled together. We seated, we had 270 chairs out. Every chair was full, and on top of that, standing room all the way through into the auditorium back area. It was a phenomenal event. Lots of the kids as well as the parents. The FBI agent actually came up to me afterwards and said it was the largest group he has actually presented to, particularly parents. Usually he'll do these anti-bullying events at the school, so he usually gets all the kids there for the assembly, but because it was an evening event, he said that was the largest group of parents he's seen in one big room like that. So kudos to our community who is looking for efforts to really step up and do something for anti-bullying. I've already gotten 8 requests to bring that forum back, so you will see it again, and I hope most of you will attend and spread the word. Other than that, didn't have anything else.
Thank you very much. Moving on to report from Council Member John Dukes.
Have 2 items. We had the Sutter Buttes flood control meeting last Wednesday, working on getting things started for this year's construction season and continuing on with our 5-year strategic plan, dealing with property issues, and so just moving forward with this. And we're looking forward to wrapping things up this year with our major construction project, but we still have additional things that we're looking at doing in the region, and the regional flood control project that will incorporate the whole region. And in addition, had a meeting with the Mosquito Vector Board. Just wanted to report on Zika virus, which many of you have heard about in the news. We do have a local case in Woodland that was reported at, I believe, around the 1st of the month. It's nothing to be concerned about. It was not transmitted by mosquitoes in this area. The mosquitoes that transmit this particular virus, the closest ones are probably down near the Fresno area and in the Bay Area. That particular species of mosquito has not been found in our region, and we're hoping that it will not make its way here. This is something that can be contracted through foreign travel, and the case from Woodland was someone who had traveled to the Caribbean. And so the areas of the world that are on alert right now are the Caribbean, down in Brazil and Chile. So if you're planning on traveling there, you might want to check into those travel alerts to make yourself safe. So this is, we're keeping track of it, but right now there's no concern for the public here locally. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. And moving on to Councilmember Cashgill.
Yep, we did have the monthly meeting for the Sutter Buttes Flood Control Agency. We did receive some grant monies to work on some eco-restoration work by the After Bay, and also begin to do some work by the Gridley Bridge. And in addition to that, some of the equipment stuff is on track. We still continue to work with the Indian tribes on a lot of cultural issues. There are some sections of the levee that will continue to be fixed this year, right by 2nd Street. That's going to be a big fix. And in addition to that, we did receive some funds to fix south of town by Laurel Avenue by the Dingville area. So that'll be tied up. Myself as the chairman of the committee, along with Mike Anamini and our attorney, I will be traveling to Washington, D.C. on February 29th, so I will not be here at the next council meeting. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'll be back in Washington, D.C. and get back about 11:30 at night in Sacramento. So a lot of meetings with hot top officials, trying to move this project further along and see if we cannot get this thing wrapped up by the end of this year. The maintenance stuff will still continue to go on. And like we mentioned at the last meeting, we did pass our 5-year strategic plan to make sure that the maintenance of the levees still continue to go on as it will. In addition to that, our executive director, Mike Anamini, and I just got the email a little while ago, was named by the American Society of Civil Engineers Region 9 Outstanding Civil Engineer in the Public Sector, and Region 9 encompasses the entire state of California. So that's a great honor to have for Mike. In addition to that, kudos to Brad McIntyre. I see that there are around the parks some additional bags out with some additional dog signage saying pick up after your dog, because we see that too much in the parks. The kids are trying to play and there's dog poop all over the place. So kudos to that. In addition to that, I guess Brad is the only one out of the executive team, I guess, that brought us Valentine's Day candies. I don't know what happened to the rest of you guys, but kudos to Brad. Yeah, thank you, Brad, for bringing them out. Late Valentine's Day candies, cookies is just as good too. So just for the rest of the executive team. Pardon?
Discount.
Discounted. It's the thought that counts. So with that, that's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our Vice Mayor, Mr. Stan Cleveland.
Thank you. On last week, I attended the Sacramento Valley Division League of California Cities board meeting. That's the from basically where our county up to the Oregon border, straight up the Middle Valley, and then over to the Nevada border, where they do advocate for specific issues regarding our cities. And you can tell it's mostly rural cities that we're dealing with. We had a board meeting for making plans for the events we're going to be doing this year. Wednesday the 10th was a gill sizer, which is that ditch that kind of goes through Yuba City that fills up with water whenever it rains. And it has flood issues, it has conveyance. We try to keep it in good shape to make sure the water moves out of the city in a good manner. The chairman-elect was Dan Flores. I was voted vice chair, and we do a rotation, county, city, county, city. And that's kind of how I got pushed into that. Sometimes there's a little game playing and messing with each other. You guys know how it is out. You mess with your friends. Sometimes you're not there, you get voted in. That's what we did to Dan Flores. And then yesterday I had the opportunity to present to the Sons of the Golden West this current project report that we have for the council members to bullet points and pretty little pictures so people can see the projects we're doing, the road projects and many different things in the community, and our goals, and let people know what's happening. So I was able to present to that last night. Other than that, that's it.
Perfect. I think some kids think that it has reached their
Your limit.
their bedtime, but I promise we're going to end this really, really quick. We did have a workshop just a week ago on water, wastewater. That is coming back to the council for the next step of the process on March the 1st. Also attended the Sacramento Area Council on Government meeting, the Government Relations and Personnel, and learned some of the updates on the state budget. Certainly that'll have impact on transportation. The governor's calling for $3.6 billion package. There's some modification to the current Beal package that's out there, trying to come up with funding revenue sources. But the biggest impact to Yuba City and other jurisdictions will be the lowering of the gas tax swap. They're going to decrease, or they're proposing to decrease local funding for that. And about 40% of the cap and trade funds are at the discretion of the governor as he moves this project forward. And much of that will probably be moved towards some Caltrans projects. And some of that will be also in an effort to streamline some of the CEQA processes. So trying to make some of those projects exempt from that process. So there's some good news and some bad news in everything that we do when we deal with trying to obtain funding to be able to do what we need here locally. And some of that does include the quality of our roadways. I apologize to the high school students, and all of you are all from River Valley High School, I assume. You guys deserve all extra credit. Any meeting that goes beyond an hour and 15 minutes, I think you get double credit for. Just mention that mention that to your instructors.
Through the mayor. Just one addition to that, I just want to welcome one of our Exchange Japan students who is here with Drew. She is visiting. How long is she visiting for? For the whole school year. So, okay. So she's here under studying government. So.
Absolutely, from multiple nations and different programs. There's so many different programs. There's like 3 that service our high schools in the immediate area. It's highly recommended. I know I had 3 academic year students, and I have visited all of them at their homes over a course of time. With that, we're going to adjourn tonight's meeting. And if there's going to be a rush of students for signatures, we'll take care of that now.